Okay, so let's dive into this. What happens when a system that you've trusted, one that's been rock solid for a whole year, just stops working? Today, we're going to unpack a real-world troubleshooting story about SQL Server Availability Groups. And believe me, this isn't just some textbook example. This is a real lesson learned the hard way, and it's one that could seriously save you some major headaches down the road.
All right, so get this. You've got an availability group, an AG, right? And it's been running like an absolute dream for a full year. I mean, it's the poster child for a stable system. The team just needs to add a couple more databases. Business as usual. But then, one of them, this really, really big one, just refuses to join. It just won't do it. And what should have been like a 5-minute job suddenly turns into this urgent, all-hands-on-deck fire drill. So you gotta ask, what on earth just happened?
So where do you even begin with something like that? Well, the first step is always to figure out the pattern. What exactly went wrong and in what order? And as you're about to see, this wasn't some bug in the software. Nope, it was something way more subtle. Basically, a destructive clash of timing, and it was all kicked off by that one single massive database.
Okay, here's how it all went down, and it's kind of like watching a car crash in slow motion. First, because this database was so huge, its initial sync, what we call seeding, was taking a really long time. Now, while that was chugging along, the second domino falls. A scheduled backup job for that exact same database kicks off right on schedule. And that's the critical moment. That backup breaks the database's transaction log chain. And you can think of the log chain as this perfect, unbroken record of every single change, which is what the AG absolutely needs to keep everything in sync. The moment that chain was broken, boom, the whole thing just failed.
And that chain of events, that domino effect, it leads us straight to the root cause. This is the real aha moment of the whole story. It uncovered this hidden conflict, which is actually a classic trap. It's something that's super easy to fall into when you're dealing with these big, complex systems. And here it is. This is the heart of the problem. It's a really common gotcha with large databases. See, the time it took to add the database to the AG created this window, this vulnerability. And it was just long enough for a totally normal, harmless, routine backup job to slam right into it at the worst possible time. It's a perfect storm, right? Just two completely normal things that on their own are fine, but together, disaster. All right, so after a problem that sounds that complicated and caused such a headache, you're probably thinking the fix must be super complex, right? But here's the best part of this whole lesson. The solution is actually incredibly simple. It's just 3 easy, proactive steps. Seriously, this is all you have to do. First things first, before you do anything else, you just temporarily disable the backup jobs for that one big database. That's step 1. Step 2, you go ahead and add the database to the availability group. You just let it do its seeding thing completely uninterrupted. Then once it's all joined up and synchronized, you move to step 3, you just re-enable the backups. And that's it. Done. Problem solved. Collision totally avoided.
And this just perfectly shows the power of being proactive, right? A couple of clicks to pause and then resume a job, and that simple action prevents hours, maybe even days, of painful troubleshooting and scary recovery drills. It really is all about just thinking ahead before you click the button.
Okay, but let's be real. Anyone who's a DBA, you know that the second you talk about pausing anything, one big red flag pops up in your mind: risk. You're immediately thinking, am I about to cause downtime for my users by doing this? It's an absolutely critical question, so let's tackle that head on.
So let's just ask it plain and simple. What actually happens when that database is temporarily sitting outside the AG while we do this fix? Is the application down? Are users seeing a bunch of errors? What's the deal? And the short answer is no, not at all. During this whole process, the database is still online and totally accessible to your users. Now, the key condition here is that the main SQL Server instance itself has to be online. But of course it would be, since this is planned work. So users won't see any downtime, and the listener just keeps directing traffic like nothing's wrong. But this is where we get to the real risk. It isn't about downtime during the fix, it's about what happens after. So during normal operations, even if the database is outside the AG, users can still get to it on the primary server. No problem. But what if that primary server suddenly fails? Well, the availability group does its job and fails over to the secondary server. But that one database, it doesn't move. It gets left behind on the dead server, and suddenly it's completely inaccessible. That is the real danger we're talking about.
And this really brings us to the bigger picture, the production impact and the most important lesson from this whole thing. It really boils down to understanding what high availability means in the real world, not just on paper.
So let's really hammer these key lessons home. First, and this is the big one, if a database isn't in the AG, it will not fail over, period. What might look like a harmless little shortcut today can become a massive production outage tomorrow. And that's why high availability is never, ever set it and forget it. These weird edge cases, they don't pop up on day one. No, they just lie there, waiting, ready to bite you a month or even a year later, right when you least expect it.
Which brings us to the final takeaway here. Look, availability groups are awesome. They're super powerful. But real long-term reliability, that doesn't come from just setting it up correctly on day one. It comes from being aware, being disciplined in how you operate it day to day. It's about really understanding how your system is going to behave as it gets bigger and as things change. And at the end of the day, it's about knowing that a simple, disciplined choice today is what prevents that huge emergency call tomorrow.